Hello. Okay, I just saw on the news about how a Russian soldier who was captured by Ukraine and then changed his allegiance to the side with Ukraine and then, I don't know, somehow ended back up in Russia was publicly executed on video by the soldiers, right? They taped his head to a brick wall and just started smashing at it with a sledgehammer. God damn, that sounds like some Modern Warfare 2 shit going on, right? In real life. Jesus Christ, wow. And the news just tells you about it like, oh, this is horrific. Beware before you watch. But it isn't not going to show it because they want those clicks and views. No thoughts and prayers, just clicks and views. I'm sure all these deaths were sponsored and brought to you by Mountain Dew. Dude, is Mountain Dew really made of monkey piss? I remember that being like a rumor when I was a kid. And I don't know. I feel like somewhere on TikTok, some motherfucker is actually drinking different urine from different monkeys to gauge its health properties. And someone is commenting about how racist that is, even though it makes no sense at all. I mean, TikTok doesn't really make any sense, but whatever, nothing does. All I like to see on there is women dressed like Waluigi with dropping fat asses, like it's hot. I can do a good Mario impression. Hold on, let me see it. Yahoo! Woohoo! Let's go! Mamma mia! Way better than Chris Pratt, right? Okie dokie! Wow! Oof! There was this dude I worked with at the home improvement store, right? And he would always do the noise of Wario. He'd be like, "Waho, waho." And he would say it over and over and over again as if he was like spamming the sound button for Wario on Mario Kart. And God, I don't know why it was the most hilarious thing. Like whenever he was doing something and he got sad, he was like, "Wow!" And if he was on the electric jack and he was getting closer and closer, someone would be like, "Wow, wow, wow, wow!" God, that was so funny. That guy was hilarious. It sucks being this age and like masturbating, right? Because I feel like I have to stretch before I do it. Well, before I really do anything, because I know right before I'm about to climax and I'm right at the edge of, of it, I get like a rowdy leg cramp or Charlie horse. Jesus, dude, I am not a masochist. I do not like mixing pain with my pleasure. And I hate looking at my porn on my phone because I'll be in the middle of a porn, right? And I'll just get like a random spam call for someone trying to buy my house or reaching out about my truck warranty, and it just pauses and interrupts the video, and it's just a huge turnoff, They need another mode besides airplane mode or do not disturb, where it's like a jacking off mode or a porn mode, Apple, if you're listening, get on that. Is there an app for that? I bet there's one on Android Marketplace for that. See, if they're probably way ahead of the game if they got shit like that. Whatever, though, I'm just thinking of any excuse to not stretch when I wake up, which honestly, at my age, stretching feels so fucking good. It's probably better than masturbating at this point. So, yeah, I'm just going to stretch until my whole body pops. And, that'll be me climaxing. That'll save me money from buying porn. Which I actually do still buy porn. I mean, dude, they're content creators too. You got to support them, If they're making a porn you love, share it with your friends and family. Give them the clips for sale link. Vicky, where the fuck is Vicky? Rest in peace, Eddie Guerrero. Speaking of dirty content creators, have you ever heard of the name Chris Chan? Okay, if you haven't, that's a huge iceberg in itself, but I'm going to try and explain a synopsis of what was going on with that person, right? So apparently he or she is a pretty, controversial content creator who got really famous for, let me check my notes here, creating a internet comic called Sonichu that combined Sonic and Pikachu. I mean, that's kind of wholesome, right? I guess. I like the combinations of things, like the idea of a skirt with some shorts to make a skort, and a spoon with a fork to make a spork, or Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck making, Benifer or J Lo? I don't remember that. That's all. It's not so bad, right? Eventually, in life, when Chris was going to college, he or she, again, this is kind of vague, would hold up a sign on campus and in the malls that read "searching for 18 to 24-year-old female," and would get kicked out for trespassing and causing a scene. But at the same time, Chris would basically document this not only for content, but also because Chris was just super lonely for everyone to keep rejecting him slash her, and was just always on the internet about it, right? Eventually, Chris made a website for Sonichu, and some internet troll, wow, really, out of nowhere, saw it and saw all the past cringy escapades that him herself had documented. And once the internet got a hold of all this, oh boy, they were tearing Chris apart online. So Chris eventually noticed the infamy that came along with those trolls and started embracing it, even though the internet was dogging on them hard as fuck and how weird they were, very cringy. Anyway, years of dealing with all of this, and then tragedy occurred where Chris's father died of heart failure, and then their family home caught on fire and burnt to the ground. To make it with all the financial burns, Chris would sell like handmade drawings and knickknacks from their Sonichu creations, like on Etsy and Patreon, blah blah. Eventually, when 2020 came around, and Chris was more or less 38 years old, she would say how the pandemic is helping the universe of Sonichu merge into this reality, and that Chris was in a polyamorous relationship between characters in that Sonichu universe as well as the Pokemon Mewtwo. Okay? Are you keeping up? So this person's kind of mentally ill, right? Well, the same year, which was around 2020, 2021, evidence came up that the 38-year-old Chris Chan had sex with their elderly mother and was arrested live on a YouTube stream with charges of incest and rape. So yeah, again, I'm just barely talking about the tip of this person. Chris really thinks these things and has these comprehensive documentaries on YouTube, like they do about everything now, detailing the events leading up to incest and rape for the charges of, doing that to his own elderly mother. Yeah, somewhere along the line, Chris changed himself from a he to a she, probably when the Sonic and the Earth universes were merging or something. I don't know, man. The internet kind of makes me sad when it makes Joker-like villains like Chris Chan. Seeing this and live executions and planes crashing. Did you see that in Dallas? Dude, I saw, the video of the planes crashing from all different angles, and people were asking, is this real? Is this part of the show? And it's like, dude, I don't know how this happens with technology, but of course they were flying old-ass World War II planes, right? So, whatever. But I saw some dudes, like, on the news commenting about the crash, and they were more upset about the loss of the World War II planes than the actual loss of those pilots' lives. They were like, man, we lost some great pieces of history. Oh yeah, and those two guys, oh shucks, yeah. Thoughts and prayers to them too. I swear, dude, this world. I need to go to Skinwalker Ranch and just find another dimension to go to. Maybe I can go to the Sonichu universe and get with a Pokemon, like a Chansey or a Clefairy. They seem like a good Pokemon to get with. Very feminine, and I think they'd take care of me, Also, I was talking about Eddie Guerrero earlier, man. God, again, I keep bringing it to wrestling. Wasn't he fucking badass? I lie, I cheat, I steal. Viva la Raza, or whatever the fuck. I'm not as Mexican as I pretend to be. Somehow, being a real Mexican, Eddie Guerrero is, and, lying and cheating and steal and still making Mexicans look fucking great and fun, with the lowriders and shit. I love stereotypes. Dude, he was a badass wrestler, though, the way, he would, get the steel chair, pretend to get hit by the opponent, and then he would make the ref see it, and the ref would give him the win because it looks like a disqualification, he knew how to fucking do that. Or the match with him and Kurt Angle, when he untied one of the laces on one of his boots, when Kurt Angle kept getting him in the ankle lock, and he untied it all the way, so when Kurt Angle got him in that last ankle lock, he escaped, out of the boot and got him in a small package and then held on to the ropes for the win, Just cheating to win. It's the best way to do it. Or the Dominic story with Rey Mysterio, where you didn't know who the father of Dominic Mysterio might be, so they're going to have a ladder match with the child custody papers hung up, and whoever gets the papers from the ladder wins and gets to be the father. I'm serious. That's a real match, and it's a fucking classic of a match. You know, even how ridiculous it sounds, it's fucking badass. You know. Dude, but if you look at Dominic Mysterio now, the way he looks a lot like Eddie Guerrero. I think the wrong person won that match. Where the fuck is Vicky? Missing him makes me miss Chris Benoit too. Yeah, I know he murdered his wife and his son and then hung himself, but he was a fucking great wrestler. You can't deny that. The Rabid Wolverine. Anyways, yeah, that's it for today's show, you know. Remember to stretch. I'm not saying just before you jack off, but stretch before any sort of, you know, just when you first get up. It's just a great a great tip to do, you know, especially when you're older like me. Support any of your small creators. That includes porn. They're small businesses too. So yeah, like, support them. Don't just go fucking check them out on the internet anywhere, you know. Go Clips for Sale and help them out too, you know. But then after you do watch your porn, just get off the internet. Like, you don't need to get on there anymore. The internet is only good for wholesome porn and nothing else. No, it's good for wrestling clips too. I will say that. But yeah, thank you, and you have a great day. Go lie and cheat and steal, and get ahead in life, like Eddie Guerrero. Rest in peace.